Morning, Steve Free in Chicago with the morning grain comments. Well, it's finally, the sun is shining in Chicago today. Overnight, some bad storms moved out of Iowa across parts of northern Illinois. We think about the people there and the cleanup that's going on there. Usually, storms like this, the rains tend to benefit crops more than the damage that's done by the tornadoes. A lot of information out overnight. First of all, we continue yesterday's rally. I think the market's short covering and concerned about this year's wet spring and what it might mean to acres and final yields. As far as the data goes, the USDA said that ratings dropped 2% in the corn to 71% to good to excellent. Last year we were 74. Big discrepancy between crops in the West that are rated above last year versus crops in the East, especially Indiana and Ohio, that are rated well below last year. As far as the soybean plantings, we're just up 3% to 90%. 95 is average. We've got about 5.6 million acres still yet to be planted in Missouri, Kansas, Nebraska, Illinois, and Iowa. And we'll have to see if that gets planted or we lose some of those acres. The ratings dropped 2% to 65% to good, excellent. And again, ratings in the West are better than the South and also in the East. Spring wheat ratings actually improved 1%. Winter wheat ratings dropped 2%. We did hear yesterday that as the harvest moves into Kansas, two things are happening. Number one, the whole state is ready for harvest. So this is going to be a really quick harvest. It sounded like a lot of the wheat's moving into storage because of the low prices. And number two, yields are better than expected. As far as headlines, there's talking about some disease in the northern Kansas. We're also talking about concern about diseases in the soft red winter wheat areas. And so we have to kind of watch that from a quality issue. We saw one analyst last night bring down some of his numbers. Corn acres and yield, he's been high. So right now his planted corn acres is the same as USDA and his yield is also the same as USDA. In the beans, he's brought his acres down quite a bit from what he thought earlier. It's still above the USDA's March intentions, and his yield is 45.5, which is slightly below the USDA numbers. So again, that June 30th report is going to be really important for the market momentum, especially in the soybeans. Again, we hit some prices, 970 in the nearby beans, 950, we're over 950 in new crop beans. Farmers should think about increasing their cash sales at these price levels if the weather changes and all of a sudden the crops start getting better. We're also getting near to some prices in corn, which is pretty strong resistance, both old crop and new crop. And the farmer's got a lot more corn to sell than beans, so he should consider selling some of that. So other than that, overnight you've got the US dollar sharply higher. And that's because of what's going on in Europe and the Greece situation. And we're seeing that our stock market, which made some new highs yesterday, especially in the NASDAQ, is opening up higher today. And the Chinese stock market, which had a big loss early, rebounded into sharply higher gains on the close. All the Chinese ag futures are also higher following our markets. So the 6 to 10 day, 8 to 14 day calls for normal rains and normal to below temps for most of the Midwest. That's a good forecast if we realize that, especially if you don't have any heat going into corn pollination. So as always, these are my thoughts, not those of ADM or ADM Investor Services, and have a safe and profitable trading day.